Hello everyone, this is Gero here. Now, where we last left off, I believe we were at the fourth training arc. Now then, Deku has actually met Koda, and Koda is actually very interested in a lot of the music Deku can play. So we're at the point where they're training. Now, Deku, for training, whenever he tried training with Tiger, Tiger would have told him to punch him as hard as he can. Deku would say that he can't really do that. Tiger would get really mad and say, why not? Deku would then have to state that if he does try punching him as hard as he can, that it might kill him, because he's actually beat Endeavor in an arm wrestling match and broke his arm. Now, Tiger wouldn't believe this, but then Todoroki would just start laughing whenever he heard that, and say that he has a video of it on his phone. He even has it. He has a picture of Endeavor in the wall as a screensaver. Yes, Todoroki would do something like that. Anyways, Tiger would see the video and he'd realize that Deku is above his league in strength. So, this is whenever Deku would actually say that Momo has created weights for him before, but she created them. She can try. She can might be able to create them as part of her training. So Momo would actually do this, and she would have actually agreed to do this because this is a better way to train her quirk since she has to make something super heavy. And with how her body reacts to it, it might actually help her. So she would actually create Deku's weights. And yeah. Anyways, Deku, he's sitting there on a bench press, and people are looking at all the weight he has. They're asking how much weight that is. Let's say the guy who can copy quirks, Monoma, he would have said that there's no way that the guy in class 1A can lift that, right? Because these are like super giant bulky weights. Like they look bigger. They're all both bigger than dressers. So because Momo would have actually just created normal things, just super giant. And they would see as Deku just picks this thing up and start instead of well, actually no, he's not on a bench press. He just starts picking it up and is actually just laying on the ground, pushing this thing above his head. And they can barely see him. So Deku, he's actually like doing this crazy stuff, and everyone's looking at him. And people are realizing that he is doing this with a lot of weight. Now, how much exactly would it be? Hang on. Jesus Christ, I just did the math. So, yeah, he's bench pressing about 81 tons. He's working his way up to that. He's probably at about 60 right now. Everyone's watching him, and they're watching as Deku is barely having trouble because he just started sweating. Now then, at this point, let's head back over to Gero. Gero's actually going at about 35% of one for all. And she is using Black Whip to actually try picking up some weights. But she's also trying to fight with muscular, no. She's also trying to fight with Tiger. Now, while she's trying to fight Tiger, she's letting her emotions get the best of her. And this is part of her training. Tiger is actually insulting her a lot. So, he's just doing this over and over again. Now, uh, oh yeah, the mic's on my left ear this time. Hang on. Anyways, after that, Deku, let's cut to the muscular fight. The villains would attack the camp like in canon. Deku would actually know where Koda is because Koda, he probably would have said that he has a spot he likes to go to by himself. because he doesn't really like talking to people or like talking to people with quirks. So he would actually go there by himself. Deku would have understood this and he would have left him alone. But Koda would have actually just told him, oh, it's going to be over here. He would have told him the general area. So, yeah, that's going to be my explanation. And after that, Deku, he would then go over to try and find Koda. Mandalay would have asked him to do it specifically because he was he is the strongest student there and essentially the strongest person there. Now Deku would actually have a run-up with Muscular whenever he gets there. Muscular, Koda would have found out that Muscular was the man. So, yeah, see, Deku would hear that Koda said that this is the man that killed his parents. Muscular would actually say that he's going to be joining them soon enough, so he doesn't have to worry. Deku would have gotten very angry and actually punched him with about, let's see, I want to say 50% of his power, so that's probably about 40 tons of force. And this would have surprised Muscular. So Muscular actually goes all out against Deku. They're fighting, they're going back and forth. Muscular's actually saying that he's had a fun time, but it's time for him to end this. Then he would try and go all out against Deku by doing the whole muscle thing with Deku at 100%. Now, Deku's having trouble with this, and he just keeps trying to. He begs his body not to give out on him because he's actually going to the point where he's all out. Now, after this, Deku, he's actually bringing up his other arm to try and hold back Muscular. It's not working. Deku's getting angry, and he keeps trying to hold him back more and more and more. This is whenever Deku actually would find the power to hold him back. Now, Muscular would actually be surprised whenever Deku punches him. But he thinks that the kid might be faster now because he felt more than one hand. Or was it just two really fast? But Deku would eventually beat Muscular. And this is whenever Deku would then start running around trying to help other people in the forest. He would web up Toga to a tree. He would have knocked out Dabi. Gero would have actually gotten the guy with the mustard gas quirk. And she probably would have actually been responsible for knocking out the guy with the reptilian and the what was it, that metal thing he had. But yeah, Mr. Compress is actually running around trying to find Jiro and actually Deku, but that's not working out because as soon as Deku would see him, he would have webbed him up and try and take him into the proper authorities. But this is whenever Mr. Compress would have just actually tried compressing himself, get out, and then probably break his compression on himself. Then after that, hmm. Then after that, Mr. Compress was going to actually try and leave, but Deku would have just knocked him out. Now then, Deku would be exhausted, and he would actually still be carrying Koda. Now, whenever he goes to grab Koda off his back, whenever he does grab him, he realizes that he has more than two arms. He has eight. And this would actually really confuse and scare Deku, because this would be something new. And everyone will be seeing Deku and asking him what happened to him. Deku's being really confused and kind of scared at this, would say he doesn't know what's going on. But after he would calm down, he would actually have these arms go back into his skin and into his body. Deku actually unlocked the ability to create more arms and have eight arms, so he's actually a Spider-Man. Now, after this just happened, let's see. That and the teachers versus students. Hmm. I believe that the teachers versus students are next. Now then, All Might and All Might versus Deku and Gero. Now these two are actually really pumped because this is essentially going to be the first time Deku actually fights All Might. And yeah, All Might's only ever been there to actually like try and help them and direct them with how they're fighting, but he wouldn't actually be fighting with combat because he doesn't want to waste his time limit or shorten it by too much. Because let's say he was actually trying to conserve it more, he only ever used it whenever he really, really needed to. So now, Deku and Jiro, they actually start thinking about certain ways they can do this. They're both actually swinging around the city as soon as they get in there. Jiro and him would have actually seen All Might's shockwave. Deku would have actually tried putting his hands up and actually tried blowing it back. But Jiro would actually do this along with him, and actually she'd actually like clap her hands using one for all, probably about 50%, actually helping Deku disband the sound wave, actually sending it back towards him. Sound shockwave, not sound wave. Anyways, after that, All Might would have been immediately tried rushing them, but Deku would have actually been the one All Might caught. Deku would have almost been caught off guard by All Might, but that's not going to work anymore because Spider Sense. Now then, as soon as All Might was going to punch Deku, Deku would have actually dodged him, and Deku would have actually thrown his own punch at All Might. This would actually hit All Might, sending him through a building. Now, All Might was surprised at how strong Deku was, because Deku's never showed this level of strength before. This is whenever everyone in the combat area, in the testing area, is actually commenting on how strong Deku is. Deku would then actually tell All Might that he's actually really happy he can fight you. I can fight you, because I've never gone all out against anyone before. Now, now then, after that, All Might would actually tell Deku that that's not true. He's seen you go all out at sports festival. Deku would say that was barely ever around 30%. He has always been holding back because he's always afraid to break something. This is when he would then pop his knuckles and his neck and actually start rushing All Might. And Jiro was actually trying to sneak up on All Might, and as soon as All Might would have gone to retaliate to Deku with a punch whenever Deku was going in for one, she would have grabbed his arm and actually yanked it back. As she does this, as soon as All Might would turn his head to look at him, he would have realized why he shouldn't have done that and get punched in the face by Deku. Deku would actually send him flying through the air. This is whenever Jiro, since she still has him wrapped up, would start spinning All Might in circles. And then she'd launch him back at Deku. Deku would immediately just punch All Might again. And she would charge up one for all at about 50%, 55% of her maximum, along with her sound waves. And immediately just punch All Might out of the arena, out of the entire area, and All Might would just send flying because of this. Like, literally, they're trying to find All Might, and he would probably turn up a couple hours later, or probably an hour or two later, saying that that was pretty impressive, and that they kind of punched him into the next town. Yes, that is going to be why. I was going to say punch him into space, but All Might needs oxygen to survive. One for All has not evolved to the point where you can immediately just breathe in space. But after this, Deku and Jiro are actually very happy that they won, and they would go back to the combat area or the viewing area, and everyone would be looking at them. They would ask Midoriya why does he always hold back, and he would explain that anytime he was younger and he tried holding something, no matter what it was, it would always shatter in his hands as soon as he started putting any kind of pressure on it. So he's always had to be careful with whatever he touches. It's not just that, but it's also the fact that in doing all this, he's only ever been able to find dangerous ways to use his quirk. So that's why he keeps himself at a low level. But it felt kind of great to actually use his quirk this much. He's never actually been able to push himself that far. Now, as he's explaining this, he says that he would feel a newfound freedom, and that if he is going to become the number one hero, he doesn't want to become a symbol of peace. He wants to be a symbol of freedom and just being who you are. He doesn't want quirks to rule people's lives. That even though they are dangerous, like that one guy who attacked the USJ, that yeah, we're still perfectly fine. It's not that it's anything wrong with us. It's just that we let our quirks we obsess over ourselves. Now, Deku and Gero, they would actually leave early. And they'd actually go on a date and actually go get some burgers. Actually do some proper stuff. They'd actually no, they would go to a rock concert, an underground rock concert, and Deku would actually wear an old school mask, and he would have gave her another one he has, and they would have actually played as the band. Now then, people are looking at Deku whenever he does walk in because he's wearing the old school jacket, the old school mask, and everyone just knows who he is. Everyone knows who he is. This is whenever they would actually hand him a guitar, and hand Jiro a guitar, because she's with him. And that was whenever they just started rocking out. They brought the house down. They were shredding so much that people were actually nearly writing that they would if they stopped. This is whenever Deku would then actually, as soon as he gets done with the song, smash the guitar against the floor and go in to kiss Jiro. Now, as soon as they do this, cops would actually show up because it's probably about 1 in the morning as long as they've been playing. After that, these two would both actually start swinging away with the Black Whip and his spider webs. They would do that and they'd end up on a building. They'd be very happy about how the night's been going and how they're close to becoming heroes. Deku, he actually does feel happy. And they would actually have to go back to the dorms. Now, whenever they do get back to the dorms, they're both sneaking in. Everyone's kind of still awake, asking what's going on with them and why were they out so late. They'd have to defend themselves, saying that they weren't doing anything like that, that they just went somewhere to play as the band. And cops kind of arrived, so they had to go. They had to leave. Everyone wouldn't kind of understand this, but Bakugo would just. Well, Ida would try and scold them, but Bakugo would say that, isn't it that they may have broken a school rule, but you need to chill out, Ida, because heroes aren't invincible. They need to They need to liberate themselves sometimes. Besides, they didn't break any laws. They didn't break any rules. No one got hurt, and they're fine. Besides, you need to chill out, man. Ito would then take his respected woman juice and go upstairs back to his room. Yes, I just casually said that sentence. Now then, this is going to be where I'm going to be leaving this part off with, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I actually did want to get that guitar bit in, because it's just something that Spider-Punk always needs to have. Come on, if you're telling me you never wanted to see a guitarist actually smash a guitar and not be impressed, then you're lying. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have amazing day. Catch you guys later.